Now, by enumerating the paths and looking for the longest path to find the project completion time, you get to identify the critical activities, no doubt, because A, C, E, G, H is our critical path, so those are the critical activities. But it doesn't tell us when a given activity should start and when it would end. So by looking at this path, you can't tell when C is going to begin, or when E must begin, or when G must begin, and so on. And for that, we need a more detailed schedule of individual activities. And for that, we're going to schedule the activities in two different ways. Okay. One is we start with the earliest possible time when the project can begin, and we will use relative time here, so which means it will be 0. Okay. So the start of the project is 0. Okay. Now we're going to use there are two rows of numbers that we will have for each node. The one at the top will be the forward path, which is called the earliest time. So A can begin as early as the start of the project. So that will be 0 there. Same here for B. It can start as early as the start of the project. Okay, so let's center these. All right. So then the earliest A can finish is the earliest it can begin plus the duration of the activity. Okay, so that will be the time when it will finish. Of course, that formula is the same for all nodes, so we can copy. Okay. Next is C. Now C comes after A, so C can begin only after A is completed. So the earliest A can complete is that time. So the earliest C can begin is that. So once again, we can copy that here, and you will have the earliest finish time. So this is the earliest start time. This is the earliest finish time. Okay. And same here, D can begin only after B is done. So that is the earliest finish time, and that will be the earliest start time for D. Once again, copy paste that, so that will give us 7 as the earliest finish time for D. Okay. E can begin right after C. Okay, look at the arrows coming in. There is only one arrow coming in, so just one time that we have to worry about. Okay, so it can begin at 4 and end at 8. Same here, only one arrow coming in. It can begin at 4, copy that over, and it will end at 7, right? Now, G has two predecessors, D and E. So both must be completed before G can begin. So we don't know based on, we want to use a formula here and not simply eyeball and then say, okay, I'm going to put 8 here, or I'm going to put that cell. Okay, that won't do, because in case any changes take place, and then what if this is 7 and that is reduced to 6? Then 7 has to be the beginning time for G. So we really should use an Excel formula that is independent of the current values. So the earliest D can finish and the earliest E can finish, and the larger of the two is when G can begin, because that's when both D and E would have been done. So I have to use the max function there. Okay, so center that. So now copy that for finish time. Okay, so now everything, now H again has two arrows coming in, and we need to use a formula for max, so that when F gets done and when G gets done, and the larger of the two, so max will give us the larger of the two, so it's 13. Now copy that, and that's that. So now finish. Again, for finish, we use the same logic as before. Now there is only one activity that marks the end of the project. So the finish time is simply the finish time of that single last activity. But if there are more than one activity that represents the finish, then you have to use the max function here, the max of the finish time of all the activities at the end. So this is called forward pass. So using forward pass, we get the earliest start time and earliest finish time. So I'm going to copy that over here. All right. So just as a legend, activity description expected time t, right? Now, so this is ES and this is EF, earliest start time and earliest finish time. So ES is earliest start time, EF is earliest finish time for the activity. So by using the forward pass, we come up with the earliest time by which a given activity can begin and finish. So these numbers tell us when each of those activities, the earliest time by which it can begin and finish. So we'll be using backward pass for latest time and latest finish time and latest start time.